What is up, Sand Shark fans? Brackin, Lambert, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr back again for another episode of the Sand Shark Rewind, brought to you by Tanger of Hilton Head. We took a couple weeks off, guys. It was a crazy last couple of weeks, just trying to get everything with.
I tell you,
yeah, soccer wrapping up, basketball starting, everything just coming around. It just absolutely just a crazy last couple of weeks. So thank you guys for being patient with us. Great show though this tonight. We got a good show tonight planned, fellas. Hoop season is underway, and we're gonna bring our first guest in here in just a minute. So just a little rundown. We're gonna talk men's basketball. We're gonna wrap soccer, and then we'll have our second guest come in later in part of the show. So but let's go ahead and jump right into it, guys. Game?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm ready.
So let's bring in our guest, man, Mr. 35 points on Saturday night. KG, what's up, man? How are you doing?
Doing good. What's up, y'all?
What's up, man? Brackin hit me with KG dropped 35, and I was like, Kevin Garnett. And then I was like, hold on, why is he telling me about KG? And I was like, oh, RKG. Okay, I get it now.
Yes, sir.
I know.
Nice night.
I was in the office wrapping everything, turned on the game, and I pulled up the stats, and I said, wait a second, KG's what? Okay, let's go. So that's so Kenny, how'd that feel Saturday? Or that was yesterday.
Yesterday.
How'd that feel yesterday?
A long 24 hours.
Yeah, man, it felt good just to have that game. It felt crazy actually, like the energy. Like I had what do you call it? The adrenaline, like the adrenaline in my body. It just felt good. Like I was rushing through me. It just felt good, man.
Man, you had the hot hand.
Yeah, it was a long game too. Second.
Heck of a comeback. Yeah, I remember the only two updates I heard from the PA announcer was you guys were down by 8, and then you turned it on in that second half. What was clicking those last 20 minutes that helped you force OT, and then you guys prevailed in I believe double overtime as it shows here on the box score.
Yeah, double OT.
Yeah, we just started playing together. Once we play together as a team and play as hard as we do, everything just started falling in place for real. Like once we listen to what Coach Ron, Coach Flo, and Coach Luke tell us, everything just started falling into place. It'd be easy. Like it was points in times in the game where I seen like people putting their head down and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, we still got time on the clock, y'all. Y'all see how we play? We press. We turning them over 32 times, stuff like that. Let's just keep the foot on. Let's keep going. And we got the dub.
Yeah, man. You when I heard you put up 35, I would have assumed you were raining in threes, but you were just 2 for 4 from 3. So explain to us what you had going on, what all you brought out of your bag yesterday.
Well, Coach Ron had to talk with me. He was saying the night before we played Friday, he was like, he think that I was thinking too much instead of just going downhill. He wants me to attack the paint. It don't matter if it comes to like scoring a ball, just attack the paint, causing defenders to help and kick it out. But once he told me to just keep my game simple and just drive, not doing all the extra moves and stuff, it was actually working and opening up. Just keeping the game simple.
Simplify.
Yes, sir.
I got
you. Those two games, man, y'all can't be doing that again. You can't do that, man. My blood pressure on Friday night was through the roof.
2 games, 3 overtimes.
And I mean, like, we're getting the table set up for the women's game Friday night, and we're running back and forth. We got it on our phones. We got it up in the office, and I'm going to give a shout out to Tamaya Whitley because she was the one who had it on her phone in the gym. She's like, oh my God, Kyle hit the 3. He tied the game. And she runs around the court like in big circles. And it's the funniest thing. But we were like, there's no way. Nuh-uh. Like, we just like, I mean, it's not that we thought that the game was over, but we were like, there's no way he just hit that 3.
Nah, when he shot it, like I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think it was gonna fall because the way he had to shoot it, if you seen how he had to like double clutch it to get it off, man. When he made that, I just got so excited, boy. I got excited for Kyle, man. That was big for Kyle.
Special moment for you and this team early on, and how does this first 2 wins kind of instill that excitement amongst you guys after? Knowing that you can pull some big games out coming from behind. What have you learned about yourself and this team overall as you guys are 2-0 through 2 games?
What I learned so far is that we got a team full of dogs. We don't got nobody that quit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I seen them with their head down and stuff, but it's like a lot of us are young. A lot of them are young, like straight out of high school, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they starting to adapt quick. Like they learning. You know what I'm saying? And they got fight in them. Like we're not the biggest team. We're never going to be the biggest team when we play, but we sure play like it.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love to see just the complimentary play. You know, like Friday, Alejandro came out on fire. He's 10 out of 13 from the field, puts up 29.
That boy
You know,
cold.
he's feeling it. But then he comes out on Saturday. He's 0 for 6. He can tell he doesn't have it, and you take over. You know, I mean, it seems like sometimes it takes a long time to kind of get to that point where you have a flow of different guys that are enough in the flow to be able to step up. But man, you guys hit the ground running right away. So to what do you credit like being able to take as many new pieces as you brought in and be able to mesh them into what you're doing and execute as well as you have the first couple of games?
Well, sure. Like I said, it's a part of just trusting the process. Like we got Coach Ron. Coach Ron, he very smart man. He know what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Just giving all our trust in them, listening to them, playing as hard as you can. Because like with the defense and offense and the style that we play, the harder you play, the better the results are. So, like having Alejandro coming from FAU with the experience is great. Like he has the leadership. Then you got like guys like Kevon Price and Dylan Lewis that got leadership in them already. It's just good to have those certain pieces to help. How would I say, like, not necessarily coach the younger
but
players,
lead.
But yes, sir, to lead them on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's good to have that.
Yeah, I'm impressed so far. Get in there, boys. What you got?
Yeah. No, the 104 points, man. That's the big part. Is Coach Ron. Kenny. We're here all summer, so Ron and Luke and I are shooting around, having a good time, and he's like, "Man, Brackin, we're gonna average 100 points again this year." And I'm like, I mean, I believe it because I saw Lucas in the gym, I saw Pat and Christian, everybody in the gym all year long, or I mean, all summer long, getting that work in, and you guys have meshed. I think the best way to say this is not necessarily that we would have given up those games given up on those games last year, but the fight. This is a different team than last year, and that's it might be a cliche comment, it's a different team, but I mean the fight, like you said, is completely different. That those two games would have, if you get down by 21. You start, you're not trying to hit the buckets. You're just trying to take, maybe take selfish threes or something like that. But you guys never gave up that fight and took it all the way. Both games against two solid opponents.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I just was like I was saying earlier, the fight is crazy. Like I kind of agree with you when it comes down to, like you said, it's a difference from last year. Like last year we had a couple games like when we played what was that, Lander, and they was stumping on us, and it's like we couldn't, we just started giving up. Like I remember like going into the locker room, a lot of people was like, man, like we not win this, that, and the third. We got into the locker room in these last two games, everybody was in there like, man, we straight. We just gotta get it up, like, you know what I'm saying? Fix everything. We gotta fix. We're not shooting the ball well. It's just like a whole different atmosphere.
All right.
I think the important thing is having that full off season after that first full year. Just describe the growing process of what you did during this off season and what the team did as a whole. Now that you had that first season under your belt, you had a whole off season now to excel and get better as a unit. So just take me through these last few months and how this full summer, these last couple of months has really helped you guys gel and play up to a higher potential so far this year.
Yeah, so like these first 2 months when we got here, like in August, Coach Ron already had us playing. Like we was playing against each other, changing up teams, trying to get the connection and chemistry going on, which happened pretty quick this year. Like the chemistry came by quick, like real quick this year. It's not a lot of, literally no selfishness to the team. everybody, like Brackin was saying, everybody like to get in the gym. Like last year, we had a lot of people you had to tell to get in the gym. Like, hey, y'all need to get in the gym. This year it's more like you walk in the gym, you seeing everybody there already getting shots up. You know what I'm saying? You catch them in the weight room, getting weights. It ain't a lot you have to do or talk about this year. They want to get it themselves. They want to be great themselves.
Yeah, and that's what it's got to be. I mean, there's got to be some intrinsic motivation because they can't be on top of you every second of every day. You gotta want it for yourself. But excited to see a couple of the newcomers cracking the lineup here early, and can't wait to see them in person. But Dominic with a couple really solid games out of the gate, and Krishan I think is gonna continue to make impacts that you maybe don't see in the box score that much, but talk a little bit about playing with those guys, the newcomers.
Man, it's good. Like I said, they got great energy. Like no bad blood between nobody on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like they came in ready. Like Brackin was saying over the summer, he was coming in. They was already in the gym. Dom, crazy athleticism. Love playing with him, man. Like he got crazy energy. Christian, we call him slow buckets. That boy, he can get to it. He can get it to his bag. Play smart, just make them smart, like the smart, you know what I'm saying? The smart choices on the court. They don't try to do too much. They just play ball, like, you know what I'm saying? They don't play with no worry, play free, and just have fun out there for real.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it is like you said, those guys are already in the gym. We have to kind of push them out sometimes to get some in the gym. Christian, Caden, Pat, all of you guys, hey, we got a media day. You guys got to go on the other court. Well, can we drop the divider? Can we go on the other side of the court? We just want to get shots up, or no, hey, we're going to go down to Hardyville and go to the Hardyville Rec Center just to go get shots up. I mean, that's that mentality that you guys have this year. But I know JJ and Wes weren't there at the Coker scrimmage this time last week. Can you tell a little bit about that one? Because again, another come from behind win, a high scoring 122 to 121 final. Yeah, unreal. Let's talk about that last play because that's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
So I'll just set the stage. Coker goes up 121-120 with 1.8 seconds left. Kenny, take it from there.
So we had to take the ball out on the other end away from our basket. So if we got to take it out from there, who's 9 times out of 10 gonna have to jump up and catch the ball? Dom.
Yeah.
So coach drew up a play for him to catch.
Top him.
Yeah, full court throw and let him catch it, call a timeout. So the crazy thing about it is Christian wasn't even the play wasn't designed for Christian for that last shot. It was designed for Dom to come off a screen and catch a lob in front of the rim. But the Coker had defended it well. And Christian, his game is so smooth in the mid-range. Like the mid-range is his game. Like he get them shots off. It don't matter if it's contested, whatever. I trust it regardless, whatever he shoot. And I just remember him like yelling for the ball. Kyle had the ball. And it was like probably one more second before they called a 5-second violation. And they threw it to him. And he's like it's like a bad angle too, like where he had to shoot it from. And when he caught it and he shot it, I ain't gonna lie, like when I seen him let it go, it looked good already. Like I was like, oh yeah, he made it. Like he made it, and he made it, and it felt like a playoff game for real. Like when he made it, like everybody started going crazy. It was just a great experience, especially for him. Being his first year here. You know what I'm saying? That's good for him for like the confidence booster. You know what I'm saying? That was good. I was happy for him.
I'm already looking forward to seeing you guys come to the Cove for the first time on the 23rd against Edward Waters, but still a couple of more games on the road before that. But tell me about, we kind of alluded to it before a couple minutes ago, but just the trust that you have, everybody, the trust that they have in these guys. And you see that. Not everybody will have the best performances, the best games, but you trust others to get that slack going and to get other people going and to cut out the slack as much as possible. So, just explain about the togetherness of this group, unity of this group, and how you see other guys step it up when it's not your night. You're letting some other players go out and perform and vice versa. So it just describe the trust and the togetherness that you guys have played with, which has led to some incredible comeback performances.
Like I said, it started from August. Like we had started already playing with each other. Coach was mixing up the teams. But like for the most part, if you want to be great as a team, you have to play as a team. Like
Yes,
it ain't no iron team for real. And the thing is that we have a lot of talent on the team. It's not just one person that can do something. We have from 1 to I forgot how many we got, 19, 18, like everybody can do it. Like everybody can play. And that's like the main thing you really have to have. Like if you trust your teammate, then that'll give them more confidence to perform and at a high level and stuff like that too.
Yeah. That there's definitely a difference between playing the best individual basketball or any sport for that matter versus playing winning basketball or baseball or whatever it is. And it seems like you guys are definitely buying into that and understand that it takes everybody, and your role may not look the same from day to day, but you step up and you fill the role that's needed that day. I think one guy who definitely personifies that is Nolan Paladugu. I love the way he grew into his role last year and kind of created a role for himself, and it looks like he's picking up right where he left off.
Dog. That's all I can say. Dog.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And here's the big thing, and Kenny, you can tell me if you agree with this with this or not. Last year we kind of had, two scorers that were the primary scorers. This year, I mean, I just checked it out. We had in game 1 against Francis Marion, we had 4 guys in double figures. Both Kyle and Allie had 20 plus points,
right?
And then in yesterday's game against Emory and Henry, 6 guys in double figures, and you just had a big day with 35. But like that right there is the big difference. We only had a couple of guys, multiple guys in double figures last year. It was, get the ball down low or hit the 3, and there was not a lot of mid range. You're coming in, and last year you didn't get to start the season until you didn't get out there until before or not
6 game, 7 game or something like
that. Yeah, something like against Edward Waters or something. It was the first time you got on the court, and so like all of that chemistry is you're building that. So I mean, like, do you feel like this is the squad right now? Because like JJ said, Nolan may not hit 10 points this game, Tasso might not hit it, but like Allie's got 6 points on the board from yesterday. You've got 35, but he dropped 29 the night before.
You feel me? Yeah, like I said, even a lot of the returners were saying like you can feel the difference in the chemistry from last year to this year. Like even off the court, you got us. We hang out way more than what we did last year. They come over here to our spot. We come on campus, just be in the calf. It's just different. Like it's more of a brotherhood this year. Like like it's a one. Everybody's just one. It's not somebody trying to be superior or nothing like that.
It takes time to build culture, I mean, it doesn't happen overnight, and so it's starting to set in. But does it take some pressure off being as deep as you guys are? Like like if I miss my first 2 and I'm just not feeling it, like I'm just not going to shoot tonight because somebody's going to do it for me, right?
Yeah, it definitely does. Especially even like in the press, if you're not playing hard, you got somebody else ready to come in. Just what I'm saying, like. It feels good to have that many people that knows what they're doing.
Safety net, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, and you guys are getting ready, and we've called you the Road Warriors this year. You are the absolute like personification of
starting out for sure.
You have one game at the Cove this fall.
Yeah, man.
We technically have a home game at In Market against Savannah State. Which I'm pumped for that game.
What?
Again, that's going to be a completely different squad, different game. But so how does that mentality? I know Coach Ron wanted to get the guys up there. He brought a lot of guys from Pennsylvania, and that's where you guys are going this weekend. You play Pitt.
2 trips to PA.
Yeah, to Pitt Johnstown on Saturday, and West Virginia Wesleyan on Sunday. So back-to-back games again. How are you feeling about that one?
Sure, I feel like how everybody else is feeling. We talked about it already. We feel real confident in it. We just gonna try to stay warm while we up north. You know what I'm saying? I really don't like going up north, but hey, we gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? But we really, especially once we play against like IUP stuff like that, We really want them. You know what I'm saying? Like we going in with a chip on our shoulder for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, got a grudge to settle, right? You gotta prove that Coach Ron made a good decision.
Yeah.
But no, that's got to be fun. That like barnstorming feel early in the season, going around playing in a bunch of other people's gyms, just kind of going around trying to beat people up. It's got to be a good time, and I think that's going to grow the chemistry more than anything. Because getting out on the road together and going through the battles, that's where it's really built, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, even like during the game, I don't know if y'all seen it, like on a halftime, not halftime, but timeouts. When the ref call a foul, y'all see the huddle up. Like we Brackin, y'all know too. We didn't really huddle up last year. Like, you know what I'm saying? We'll just get the spots and stuff. There's a lot more communication going on. Like it's just a whole lot of togetherness, man. And it just feels different. Yeah.
Well, and it's got to feel a little different too, because last year, I mean, with Marcus out there, you're forced to go through the post. You're foolish not to. How does it change things? I mean, Pat hasn't been out there the first couple of games. Is he banged up, or I'm not sure what's going on with him? But does that kind of change the dynamic as far as that's more natural for you guys, right? Like 5 out and just go at the rim.
Yes, sir. It is more natural, but I can say this though. Before Patrick got hurt, Patrick's gonna be one. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
He got game. Patrick's gonna be one.
Yeah. And he's and something that he brings is that mid-range jumper.
Yes.
Okay. So he's more of like a facing big.
He got the footwork.
Yeah.
He know how to pass out of it. If he don't have nothing, know how to move around the paint area. Pat got it.
He may be a more natural fit in this offense than Marcus was, really, in ways. Maybe not.
I don't really want to answer that, but
yeah, fair. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to get my head around it, and I haven't seen him yet. But
as far as the press though, like running back and forth,
not a worry.
Gotcha. Yeah. He can run the floor.
Good deal. I can't wait to see him, man. I mean, I know he can play. He was recruited to South Carolina, for goodness sakes. He's got some juice.
Man, that man's good. He good. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see y'all in person. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I'm pumped too. Edward Waters is coming up in a few weeks, but just talk about the goals that you have for this year, second season as a team. What would you like to accomplish when all is said and done here in 2024, 25? And what is it going to take collectively from all of you to head towards that goal?
Well, my main thing this year is just to win. Like last year we started off good, but then we got into conference. You know, it got kind of slow. You feel me? We beat Augusta, but it still kind of got a little slow. But like Coach Ron had the meetings with everybody, and he said, like, for the most part, everybody had the same answer, and it's to win. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole goal of the sport, is to win. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, to continue to play together and to continue to get better as a group. Because, like, as of right now, it's just our first 2 games. You know what I'm saying? You never know how we're going to end up looking. You feel me? Like, so we just looking forward to, you know what I'm saying, continue to get better on and off the court. Like, it don't matter if it got to do with basketball weights or just being around the school, anything. Just trying to be better as a unit.
He's definitely putting you through the grinder early.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing a bunch of games in a short period of time against some really good competition. It's totally different non-conference schedule than you faced last year, obviously, when you guys kind of didn't know what you had and kind of, when it tiptoed into the water a little bit, but man, he's throwing you in the fire this year. So you should be battle tested, but there'll be no surprises when you get to Peach Belt play this year.
Yes, sir. None at all.
Yeah. And that's the big thing. You got a couple of return games with Voorhees and but those are taken as scrimmages and Edward Waters.
Oh yeah, the 2 scrimmages, the NAIA games. I got you.
So oh, good. Just got word. Lydia said that she can join at 8:30. So we'll bring in Lydia here in just a few minutes. And then we can wrap with soccer at the end. So that'll be a good thing. Sorry, we're on the fly as we're getting everything. Sorry, KG.
That's how we do things.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I think it's a huge thing. You guys are getting to play really solid, solid teams. And there's not one, oh, hey, we're going to go get this game and, run the score up to 130 or 140 or whatever, I mean, for the first, 11 games of the season, we averaged 101 points last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that high octane offense, I think, is going to stick around. And I think we're going to be, I I think we're going to be there. I really do. And I think being this last transition year, and this will lead to my question to wrap your session, Ken. You know, you came here to build a program. It's your senior year. You know that you can go out and you can try to win a conference championship. And I think that's the biggest one right there, obviously, with us not being able to go play for a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, would that conference championship feel like a natty just because
I'm gonna say
because of where we are?
I mean, it's as high as you can go, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the main goal for real. If anything,
trying to win a
feel
championship, and you get that's the goal of any season is you want to win a championship, and you still have a chance to do that in this Peach Belt Conference, which is a really cool thing.
Yes, sir. Shoot, it's gonna feel like March Madness to me. I don't care if it's just a conference. We gotta get that. I want it. We gotta get it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean,
and you guys were riding so many games last year, and now it's just the purpose of finding a couple more wins. And I really think with what we're seeing early, you guys have a chance to do it. So how excited to go at round 2 of Peach Belt play?
I'm so excited. Like last year, a lot of the games we lost was close. Like even though it was our first game, it was our first year. You know what I'm saying? We were still like in the game. Like we had 2-3 games where we got beat by more than 15 plus, but for the most part, most of the teams that we played in our conference, we did not lose by a lot, and a lot of it came up from giving up. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have that in us this year. Like it's more of a fight, like y'all said earlier, and we got dogs. We got a team full of dogs. You feel me? So
I love it.
Get it.
Yeah, and you have like history now too. Like they're actual rivals now.
Yeah.
Like before they were like new potential rivals, and now they're like rivals. You're gonna know those guys.
I cannot wait for North Georgia. I cannot wait for North Georgia.
Oh yeah, I can't. I know that feeling. Like those games get the games against Aiken. Yeah, those games. But yeah, but you guys can't do it to my heart anymore.
Bring it on, man. Bring it on. I thrive on it.
Those OT games, man.
Man, I felt the same way you did for real. Like, especially in the Emory and Henry game. How do you say it? Emory and Henry?
Emory and Henry.
Man, when he made that shot, I don't know what it is about the Flagler gym, but buzzer beaters just go crazy in that gym. Like they just making them. And I was like, man, like I didn't want it. I did not want to go to them extra 2 quarters. I'm telling you.
Hey, well, that's what is it? That's 50 minutes of basketball.
Yeah.
45
played 95
minutes of basketball already this year, man. That's nuts.
Somebody's going to lead the nation in minutes played for USCB.
Well, KG, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. I'm sure I'll see you in the gym early tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.
Keep up the good work, man, and I can't wait to see you guys play this weekend.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
What's up, man? We'll see you soon in the Cove.
Sir. All right.
Kenny Gaines, man, he's a character, man. I love seeing Kenny. He always gives me a high five, and we're always right there just to, he doesn't walk by you and doesn't have a big smile on his face. And like I said, I think, or like he said, it really is a different culture. They're always around each other. They're always in the CAF. And it's great.
I mean,
around the
I
campus.
think it's probably a natural thing. Like the first year for a program, there's a little bit of like a collection of mercenaries type thing, and like it's just a bunch of dudes who kind of come together. They got this opportunity at this new place, and some of them are gonna fit and buy into the culture, and others are gonna go looking for something else. And but then by year 2, like it's kind of self-corrected. Like the guys who found the right place stayed, and the others went on, and then now the recruits who came in knew what they were looking at. Like it's a little different in year 2 because they've seen it and they kind of know what they're getting into. So you have a little bit better hit rate, going forward with as far as fit goes. And so I expected that the chemistry would take a step up. And hearing Kenny talk about it, it sounds like it's like really, really taking a step up, that they're really in a good place. Now, obviously, it was feeling real good early too last year when it was going good, and then when you hit adversity, that's when you start to see whether you can keep it together or not. But hopefully, these guys are wound up, are bound tight enough that they can keep it together even through some adversity. And I think that's why you put them through the test early. you see what's there. And if you start to see cracks in the foundation, you know where they are. So I couldn't be more excited, man. I can't wait to see these guys play in person. They're so fun.
Maturity is shown with 2 wins in a row, not just 2 wins, but to come from behind, win in overtime. You got to find ways to close out, win games. That was a talk point we had last year. They were in a lot of close ones. They couldn't find a way to close it out, and they're getting wins against good teams, and that's really optimistic for me, and it's exciting me even more to see, and just a different look of a team. I mean, you have some guys no longer there. You have some new faces coming in who have made impact, or at least started to, and the returning guys who have been such important cornerstones of that group as we go forward. And just great to talk KG Wood performance that he turned in for all of us on Saturday, and it's just going to be like that mentality I mentioned earlier, the togetherness. Like, we're going to have different guys who can show up and find ways to get the job done in clutch moments, and it's not just going to be like one star guy or a couple. I mean, you're going 10 plus deep with this team, and everybody's is going to be expected to find a way to contribute. And that's what makes it exciting, and could make this team very tough to face as we get later into the year. So I can't be more excited for how this team has started in his second season. I mean, the first year, it was just an incredible, memorable couple of months, but now we have a chance to build on it and take it a couple of huge steps further, and we're starting to see that.
Yeah, Wes, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off, man, but I promised Lydia only 10 minutes, and I know she's in here, and she's got a lot of stuff that she's got to get done. So I'm gonna cut you off real quick. We need to bring in Lydia really quick. So let's go ahead and bring in our sacked president, team captain, and comeback player for the first game, Lydia Gattosi. Lydia, thank you for thank you for hopping on real quick, and we'll make it quick for you. So
I know you're good. I mean, I'm good for as long as y'all need me.
Yeah, well, I promised you 10 minutes. The SAC president, she's got to get ready for the SAC meeting tomorrow. So
she's everything. Yes. She's probably also got to do Gattosi on the go new segment, right?
Got to plan that. Yes.
Yep. We got 3. We're gonna try and shoot. I'm gonna try and shoot for 3 segments this week. We got to find some time.
Okay.
3.
We got to build them up. We got to build them up.
Get them in the can. I got you.
Yes.
So
got to get that weekly content.
Absolutely. So, Lyd, first off, welcome back. I mean, I know that had to feel pretty sweet, and not only was it your first game back in over a year, but you're the first one announced too. So how did that feel? Running through your teammates, and you were in that little tunnel last year, but how did that feel coming through it in uniform?
Yeah, it was great. Just such an awesome feeling, like the energy in there, everybody clapping, everyone was super excited. So it was just a great feeling, to have everybody's support. It was awesome. And, coming out with the girls too, it's just great. Like, especially Sheridan went through the same thing. So it was really great, getting to do it with her as well, and everybody else on the team.
And then you came out and led the team in scoring, and started to get your legs back a little bit, which was fantastic to see. I love your free throw stroke. It's beautiful. Made all of those, which is great to see. But, we talked about it yesterday, you and I, after the game, but just kind of knocking the rust off and getting back to game speed. Tell folks a little bit more about what that was like, just playing at game speed for the first time in a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, it was definitely different. I mean, in practice we tried to make it as game like as possible. We've had a few inter squad scrimmages, but I mean nothing is exactly like how the game is going to be. I would definitely say it's a lot fast. It's very fast paced, but for the most part, it felt good. Definitely a little bit sore, but I would say for the most part, it felt good because I've had a lot of time to practice game like scenarios. So it wasn't like the first time I've gone full speed. Everything with the ACL recovery is step by step. So you're never just fully thrown into something. So like I've had at least I think I've been fully cleared for about a month and a half, 2 months. So it hasn't been anything like drastic right away, which is nice, which is the nice part to the ACL recovery is because it's like you get steps. You can start to
Right.
run, you can start to cut, and then you can
Yeah.
start contact. So it's like you get a lot of benchmarks, which is
It's
really
a gradual,
Mhm.
gradual process. And then
Yeah.
when you do come back, there's like full confidence that you're all the way
Yes.
back. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Lydia, tell me about the experience of watching from afar last year and seeing the growth of this team throughout that first season here at USCB.
Yeah, I mean, last year with the injuries that we had, we definitely had a lot of players that were given the opportunity to step up. And I think through that opportunity, a lot of them learned what the college game is like. And it's very different from high school. And I think a lot of players don't realize that. You know, you've been playing basketball your whole life. You're like, I can handle this, you know. But it's a big change. It's a big change of pace. Practice is different. The amount of time you're practicing for is different. So I mean, this team has grown tremendously, and I think last year was a great year for a lot of girls to, you know, start to feel comfortable in their positions and start to feel comfortable with college basketball. So the growth of the team has been amazing, and I think just having more pieces this year has been great. But I mean, the team has definitely grown a lot, and I think last year having a lot of freshmen given the opportunity to step up was very helpful as well.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a couple of them didn't get to play yesterday because a
Right.
couple of
Yeah.
kids who really grew into those roles last year, we didn't get to see their progress
Mhm.
because of injuries. Which,
Mhm.
gosh dang, man, what is going on with the
I
injuries
know.
over
I
there?
know. It's definitely upsetting. You know, you never want to see people get injured, and just they're big injuries that we're seeing, which is even harder. And you just, you know, when you've been through that, you just feel it for each other. And, you know, the team is definitely feeling it for everybody right now.
Yeah.
Did we get bad news on Sheridan?
Any update on Sheridan?
She has a doctor's appointment tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that was it. It kind of felt like, okay, you know, you guys run through the tunnel, and then Sherry knocks down that. Not only was it a three, it was a deep three. Like it was,
And it was beautiful.
it was
Just
just perfect.
stepped into it, drained
Yeah.
it. Such good
Yeah.
energy to start the day.
It just
Yes.
felt great. And then, you know, that scary moment with Bart. I mean, I didn't even see.
I thought Bart was done, man.
Yeah, I didn't even see what happened to Sherry. I saw her come off the court. I was like, okay, you know, she's just getting a rest. And then I saw her on the training table. But I mean,
Yeah, it was quick.
that's as you know, man. And
Yeah,
Bart,
she said she planted to go up, and she just felt a pop midfoot, and that was that for yesterday.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's, you know, just something sprained or something that's not something torn down there. But yeah, Bart hit the ground hard. I thought Bart was done for a while, but in true Bart form, she went and wrapped it up and got back out there and dived all over the floor again. I thought Kmar was really impressive, you know, being pressed into playing point guard with very little really training for that. You know, I mean, you guys had started to kind of baby step her into it, but she got thrown into the fire. She was really good defensively, active hands at the top of the defense, and you know, did her job for the most part offensively. She's still got to kind of figure out where her scoring comes from in that role, I think. But I thought she did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, we're all. What was that?
She led the team in steals with 5. She was picking balls off all the time.
Oh yeah, we're definitely, you know, very thankful that people are the girls on our team are more than willing to step up into these roles, because it's difficult, but you know, we're all there supporting each other through it all.
Well, and she never would have been prepared for that role yesterday if she hadn't been pressed into playing a lot more last year than she probably was supposed to, you know. So, you know, that all those things will continue to pay dividends down the road. I also thought Brianna Pelote was really impressive inside, especially defensively. That's a physical presence on the defensive end.
Oh yeah, we're definitely excited with her. She works hard, and she's definitely gonna do very well in the Peach Belt for sure.
3 big blocks. Lydia, you had a block too?
I had her for 5 blocks. I had Bree for 5 blocks.
Maybe we need to go back and talk to Donald about that.
Right.
We'll have to go.
I mean, he could have been right and me wrong, but that's what I counted. But a couple of them, maybe she didn't quite get them. She just altered it, you know. So
yeah. But yeah, great to see you out there, Lydia. And I just, playing that first game under head coach Sharon Versep, just talk a little more about her and what she has done to help continue to invigorate your game. And it's got to be really awesome to play under her.
Yeah, I mean, I came here because of Coach Versip. She was the leading factor in it. So getting to play under her is great. She's done a great job of getting like Sheridan and I a ton of reps in practice, making sure that we feel comfortable with what we're doing. When we were kind of coming back into full contact, she made sure we knew what we were going to be doing in practice, so we knew, what we could make sure we were 100% in. But she's done, a great job of supporting us all and, preparing us for this season. It's a long season, and, she helps us to prepare for that and to prepare for the competition that, we have on our schedule.
Yeah, and it's easy to be frustrated about yesterday because you want to win the first one, and you definitely felt like that was a game you should have won. But sometimes the circumstances are what they are, and you guys seem to do a good job of putting that in perspective yesterday and understanding that this won't mean a whole lot. If the season goes the way you expect it to the rest of the way. So,
Right.
I guess do we get anybody back for Thursday health wise, or is everybody still?
No, I
long
think
range than
I
that.
think yeah, I think we still have a few more days.
Yeah. So I guess do you put it on yourself a little bit more to carry a little more load offensively now going forward after just kind of seeing that that's a little bit of a deficit, or like how do you approach it? What as a leader, what are you looking to do to try to change your fortunes on Thursday?
I think just, everybody knows that, we just all have to step up a little bit. It's not just myself.
Right.
I think everybody is watching the film and we're going to kind of go over it. We saw this is what we need to do to be better as a team. So I think everybody just needs to step up in their role and do everything to their best ability, watch the film and know what they need to change, what we need to fix as a team, how we need to run our offense. So I would say, everybody's kind of focusing on stepping up for the team together.
Obviously, you were here last season, but this was your first game. How awesome was it to play in front of that amazing crowd on Saturday?
Yeah, it felt great. There was a ton of support. It's always great when a lot of students come as well. And there were a large amount of students as well as some student athletes that were there, which just makes you feel really supported. And I know that was kind of something that we talked about wanting to emphasize this year was support from student athletes. And I think, already through this year, through soccer games and, softball had their fall games. I think that there's been a lot of support recently, which has been, the athletes just appreciate that so much between each other.
Yeah. You a little hoarse from all the yelling on the bench?
No.
It sounded like your voice was a little tired. But no, I had a question and then I lost it somewhere, but I'll come back to it, I'm sure.
Yeah. We're looking ahead to Thursday against Allen.
Yes.
And then you guys get, I don't want to really say a break, but you play a couple of games that are exhibitions. You're just getting some time out there. So unlike, the guys play 2 exhibitions preseason, you guys are getting a couple of them in the middle of the season. And that way you guys get, a little bit more camaraderie, the outcome doesn't matter. Hopefully, Tanaya will be back and Sherry will be okay. Get everybody, get a little bit healthy, maybe if it's where, hey, if I need I don't have to play 25 minutes. I don't have to go and play all those time and get those valuable minutes.
Get some reps.
For those players, like, Ashley got in there at the end of the game. Excited to see her, but all the freshmen right there. We talked about Ellie, had the shot, it just never fell. So
she had a bunch halfway down too.
Right. So
that's the other thing. If like 3 or 4 of those threes that go halfway down go in, it's a totally different ballgame.
Yeah, definitely.
You guys just couldn't get a bounce, man.
Yeah, I know it was. It's difficult when one of your starters goes down at the beginning of the game, and I think that was like a quick adjustment that we all had to make. And it's upsetting to see injuries on our team. So I think that was a big part of the game was just having to adjust to that mentally and also from a team perspective.
And they're all in the backcourt, so like it's just pushing everybody out of position again, right? Like you're having to play the 2 when you'd really rather play the 3, and like it's just it just messes up the rotation. But you guys will settle into it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well,
definitely.
Lydia, thank you for joining us.
Yes,
I appreciate you. It's a little bit late, guys. It's school night, so got to go get ready and get ready for that SAC meeting. So anybody who's watching, SAC meetings open to all athletes. So go out there and talk to your SAC reps, man. That's how things happen for our athletes. So, Madam President, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Lyd.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.
Later.
Lydia Gattozzi.
Tremendous leader.
She's great.
Yeah, and she really has brought that strong sense of I don't want to just say like we use community or
advocacy.
Yeah, I mean, like she brought the A for A game, the athlete for athlete game that they she did at Canisius, and like she mentioned, teams
She's
are going
a uniter.
She really is. She went out. They were out at soccer games. I mean, athletes were out there every single game. There were so many teams out at the Sandshark Invitational. So many teams that even teams came out at the 7:00 dual meet with Savannah State on campus, and they're going out to the fall softball games. The fall World Series for baseball had a lot of players out there, a lot of athletes, and that's something that is there, and you've got to advocate for yourself, and you've got to want that. And Lydia is a terrific voice for it, and and she's here for another year too. Like that's a beauty of it. Is like I'm really excited to great having her last year. Also, she calls a great game whenever is needed. But also she's just like I'd much rather see her on the court. She's so much fun, and she's so active and just so exciting. So
strong. I mean, she's quick. She's like you could see she's a D1 athlete. Like not everybody playing at the D2 level is a D1 athlete. Some of them are, and
Division 2,
and they found their way down to D2 for whatever reason. But not all of them had the ability to play at D1 at any point, and you can tell the ones who did. There's a little difference there, but she's got some juice, and I can't wait to see her like really get back to full capacity. Because even though she's like fully there physically, like she's just she's not her fully realized self yet. She will be in a few games, and it's going to be awesome.
I think because the away Augusta game, I don't know if y'all have looked at the schedule, they're both separate. So like the girls played December 18th, the guys play like December 7th or however it is. It's flip flopped.
Yeah,
where that's the where they're not playing because it's two different education days for Augusta. So they asked if we could play those games.
Yep.
The women play on the 7th.
Okay, so the women play on the 7th and the guys play on the 18th, right? That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Something like that. So they're both playing, a conference game early, before the.
Gotta love the screen kids games. That'll give you a lot to. You got another aspect of the crowd. You got the kids screaming, or at least for a portion of the game, so it adds another factor. Can you stay?
Yeah. Well, we got to go, JJ. We got to go talk to Chuck Elias and get those kid ninjas, man. Gina and I were talking, and shout out to my friend. I definitely call him my friend Brent Hager over at Aiken. I texted him after the game last year, and I was like, dude, you got to tell us where you found those ninjas because these kids were awesome. It's still one of my favorite videos on my phone. I just go back and watch it.
The kid ninjas. I love it. You gotta, I'm sure we can round up. If you call up Chuck Elias, I'm sure he's got kid ninjas galore.
I think he calls them like the little dragons or something. So I was like, let's go. Like,
bring on the little dragons. Let's do it.
But yeah. So I mean, like Wes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just know I promised you that short time. So, but yeah, I mean, just to wrap basketball for tonight, I mean, no matter like the outcome of yesterday's game, you don't take too much into account.
It is what it is, man.
Exactly. It's one game. And as Brady said, this is the game we wanted. This was the Morris game last year. Get it out of our system, be done with it, and just move forward. I really do have I don't want to say high expectations, but I have, a lot of
expectation. I mean, obviously the injuries are worth like hopefully it's not too just keeping our thoughts of good optimism concerning the injuries from Saturday, but even with that, I still am very optimistic and to see what Gatosi did in her first action, and I mean, terrific from the free throw line, made impacts in a couple different spots. Now it's a matter of can you clean up a couple turnovers and just find a way to contribute more as it goes along. But lead her team in scoring, first game back, and doing a great job setting an example for the rest of her squad. She competed hard out there, and a lot to like about her game and a lot to like about several of these young ladies who performed out there. So, we hope we get good luck and favorable luck in terms of what's to come health-wise with this team. But I'm still optimistic that we will see a good improvement this year in Peach Belt play with the emergence of some new players with Lydia back and some others who have been around here a while who continue to provide so many important factors, including Brielle Barr, what a warrior she was out there. Just love watching her play.
You get
to her game.
You get Ellie to drop one of those threes, and that's a difference maker for her. And she even said she was nervous. It was her, her first game. She was like, I don't even know how I'm going to play. But, go out there, drop 3 or 4 of them against Allen, and she'll be good. She knocks them down all day in practice and all day when she's just shooting. Bree is going to be a force. Good to see Ari get some minutes out on the court too. And Ella, and then Madison Self, man. She I'll quote Kenny, man.
She's a glue player all the way. She does whatever you need.
Just she's making those runs and fighting hard for the basketball. She worked very hard over the summer and she killed it. And I think it's definitely showing right now. And then shout out to Kay, man, 5 steals. That's great. Like you said, she was forced into a role last year. You're down to 15 players guaranteed for the year, losing Primo for the year. That sucks, man. That's
terrible.
Once you get everybody healthy and you get Tanaya back, hopefully Sherry's not hurt too long. And then when Janiyah is ready to go, man, that's going to be ready to rock and roll. But big game against Thursday. It's also Invest in Women's Sports Day at the gym. So all of our women's teams will be honored at halftime. So
awesome.
All the coaches are going to we're going to recognize all of the teams there and just have, a really cool moment. Because awesome. It has been it's been the year of like women's sports, most the WNBA this year was extremely on the radar of everybody with Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese being a part of the WNBA now. So really excited to see how all this is going to go, and I'm really excited for Thursday. I'm no breaks, but as this door opens, year 2 of Sandshark basketball, another year of Sandshark soccer closes. Year 14 of Sandshark soccer. Year 14.
That's staggering.
Yeah. The only reason I know that is because Cody and Allison call each of their teams like, okay, it's team 14 or team 15 or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
That's how I know it because
they're in step with soccer. Yeah.
Right. So, year 14 came to a close last night to the second best team in the country against Columbus State. This hurts saying it, but a 9-2 loss to the Cougars. That one was tough.
At least we got those 2.
We got 2. Yeah, the first 2 goals we've ever scored against Columbus, and that was
9-0 before that.
Sophia Willis, capper to what was an outstanding season for her. That is remarkable what she was able to do, getting that first one early, and I mean, just quite a season and to have her coming back for a couple more years. I mean, that's a huge win in of itself for the Saint Shark program. But looking at the final stats, I mean, she was the leader in goals with 6 on the year. So you have the freshman that really bodes well for the future for her and for this team. But just tough to wait to see it end because it was really promising early in conference play with a couple of tough ones midway through, some unfortunate instances throughout that went against this USCB squad. But I love the way they competed. I love the way that some younger players stepped up and the veterans of this team continued to show why they've been so solid throughout. And Emily Worrell capping off another tremendous career, capped off by another fantastic season. What an amazing player she was, and so many of our other seniors who made incredible impacts throughout. We will miss all of them going forward, but I love the way this team competed in what was once again a tough conference. And I mean, it's tough that they finished in the 8th seed because they had a chance
That's unreal.
A number 4 higher, but everyone was so squished together in terms of the standings. Everyone was so closely finishing in terms of points. Just the margins were so thin this year, and that's what makes it tough.
I mean, we go to a scoreless tie with Georgia College, and they pick up a win over Georgia Southwestern, who, credit to the Hurricanes for picking up some really big wins against North Georgia and Flagler that really kind of opened the door midway through the conference season, because you pick up that's the first conference game, it's on the road, you pick up a big win against them, and then you pick up wins against Albany and Aiken, and you're like at 9 points, and you're sitting there playing Georgia College, who you think that you have a really good shot in that last second effort that that Sin had and right there in the 90th minute, you're like, here it comes, she's going to make that goal, and we're going to get those 3 points. And the goalie just gets a touch on it, and the game goes scoreless. And I don't want to bag too much on officiating because the officials are bad everywhere. That's just common. But I'm sorry, when a girl pulls up, hands back, and you give a foul call to one of the best goal scorers, you give a free kick to one of the best goal scorers in the country from 20 yards out. I mean, that's tough. I mean, in retrospect, it didn't completely change the outcome of the game, and it was a 4-2 final.
Yeah, the 2 against Lander and Flagler were 2 I really look back on where, man, they could have won both those, and it just didn't go.
And more than likely, you probably and think about it realistically, you probably should have. You look at those, and you look at that call. At least with Lander, you have that that call to give the PK in the 89th minute.
Yeah.
That
they had some chances in that game. They had some chances to go ahead when it was 2-2, and unfortunately, they were able to put those in the back of the net, and then you get the.
But now you got to look forward to next year, and I can guarantee you that Dan is, I texted him just to make sure he's doing how he's doing. He's my new neighbor in the new wing, so we'll be able to yell at each other through the wall. But now it's, hey, time to turn up recruiting and get those players, because you lose 10 seniors this year. And in retrospect, you're actually losing 12 because Adriana Martin and Aaliyah White were both honored last year and chose not to walk during that ceremony against Albany. And now you've got to replace Sin, you've got to replace Kristen, Henny, Tine, Emily. I mean, it's you got a hefty task in front of you, and probably going to take some lumps. That back line this year, the last couple of years, probably the best back line that you're ever going to see at least in the last 14 years.
Transfer portal's open.
Yep.
There's always players out there.
Yeah. So you go look at the portal, see who you can sign. You got a lot of It sounds funny because it sounds like you're playing a GM, but you got money to use now.
Agency.
That's the reality.
Yeah, you get
got some cap space.
Yeah, you get some of those international players who are who are graduating, and they require a little bit more of a scholarship to be over here. And now you look internally, look stateside, and obviously you want to try and pick up some, maybe pick up a couple of internationals and all that kind of stuff if you can afford it. And
yeah, but the reality is, I mean, the NAIA ranks, you have to rely a little bit more on that, just because it's an easier sell to international kids. Kids stateside, they want to play NCAA. Like it's a real stigma for a lot of kids, and I think especially in soccer. I mean, it's you've spent a lot of money to get to the point of playing college soccer, so there's a return on investment that you want to get back out of that. And so, I think the move to D2 opens doors to a totally different class of recruit stateside, that you won't have to rely as much on the international recruiting. You can still go pick your spots, but you won't have to rely on it to elevate your program. So, I hope they can use, like you said, use that cap space, so to speak, wisely to go fill a bunch of holes, and maybe even with transfer portal kids who have, some experience at the D1 level. So, it's the tides come and go. That's college sports for you. You never have the same personnel for very long.
Yeah, and I think that's it's you can live and die by the portal. So, you pick up a couple of key kids and all that kind of stuff, and you just go and you do what you can. And I know Dan's going to be working really hard over these next couple of months. And then we'll see what happens with the when the job is posted again. See what kind of interest we get for the head job. I think Dan did a terrific job this year, being kind of, I don't want to say forced into the role, because there was some interest. It just wasn't the right fit. And I think he did a great job. I do, and I think that he'll have his fair shake at this being his program moving forward. So, and we'll just see how all the cards fall. It's when Jay left last year, it was in February, so you had to, a lot of these coaches are starting spring ball at that time, so getting time to go over there and all that kind of stuff, that's tough. So, but a tremendous season for those ladies. A lot of those freshmen got a lot of key time on the pitch, and you finished with an above 500 record again. The 7-6 and 4, a lot of ties, man. That's the hard part. Is you open the season with Southern Wesleyan with a tie, when you kind of felt like that was a game you should have won, and then you have the one that sticks out obviously is the Georgia College game.
Right.
Go back and look at the other ties. I don't even know what they are. I've looked so many times. The Palm Beach Atlantic game, you go up early 2-0, and then you allow 3 goals, and you have to come back and fight that one. And then you tie Clayton State, which you had to come back and win that one a quarter of an inch the other way. Again, that's the game that you probably win. You played a great 45 in the first half, and then a 10, 12-minute span, they scored 2 goals, and you're fighting for your life to come back and score in the last 2 minutes. So, but an overall great season, I really do. I'm excited to see where it goes. And Wes, just to piggyback on what you said about how close the standings were in general, because we were up, midway through the year, we're number 1 in the conference.
Right.
That win against Albany State put us at number 1. And then we were sitting at number 3, playing those key games against Lander and Flagler. And, you have different outcomes for those 2 games. You're definitely hosting an opening round quarterfinal game. So,
right. Yeah, that's what hurts about it. But all the same, it just goes to show how tough and how deep this conference is. I mean, aside from maybe Albany State, which has been at the bottom, this year, and certainly it was not as competitive as even USC Aiken, who was like a 1-win team or 2-win team. They were competitive as well. I mean, that game against USCB was tight once again. So this conference is once again extremely deep, and I expect to continue to be that way as they potentially get their first opportunity for full membership next academic year. So a lot to be excited about the women's soccer room. Certainly a lot of decisions to be made in terms of how you want to retool or revamp this roster with a lot of cap space proverbially at your disposal for Dan Huff and company. So looking forward to seeing how they approach things going forward. But I'm super pumped with the potential that we've seen from Huff and these younger players who impressed, especially with what Willis did this year and others as well who showed out throughout.
Yeah, and you get Anna Wandry back next year, who's coming back from a knee injury. So yeah, I'm super excited. I think you'll live and die by the portal. I don't want to expect anything, but with a roster of 37, you probably expect a couple of moves. If it just realistically, it's a lot. When you can only seat 32 at a home game, that's kind of tough when you got players sitting on the other side of the field. But it's going to be a fun off season. I'm looking forward to seeing what Coach Huff does and then seeing where the department goes with the head coach search. And maybe we've got our guy. So we'll see where the chips fall and where everybody comes in. So I think it's going to be an exciting time here in the Loco. But fellas, we got a game on Thursday. Invest in women's sport.
Back in the Cove.
In the Cove, we're gonna have a fun time, and JJ is gonna be on the call. Wes will be at the table. Hopefully, we'll have a little bit more time to prep. No craziness. All the
sports.
The programs are set. All you got to do is change the numbers now. You don't have to go and try and make something from scratch.
Yep.
True. That first one's rough. The second one's a rinse and repeat.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically the same pick me up and put me down from last year, except with the added projecting 5 on that one and both rosters on the back. And Coach Bursa made sure, she was like, I want you to put those captains on there. I said, I got you. I'll put those captains on the back. So final thoughts, guys, before we wrap it up for tonight.
Yeah, I'm just excited to get back into basketball, and so much hype in year one. I think there's as much hype or maybe even more in year two, especially with how the guys are performing. 2 gritty wins on the road in overtime. I mean, just what more can you say about the potential that this team can show going forward? And it's a bunch of guys making impact plays. We got to talk to KG tonight, but you could have chosen several who have had highlight performances in those first 2 games that we could talk for a number of minutes or more about. So
it takes a lot more than one guy to score 104.
A lot more time to improve and get better, and hopefully we'll get good news in terms of the health of some of those players, and they'll have an opportunity to show themselves once we get into the latter parts of non-conference and the conference play. So man, it was so much fun to get back at the Cove. Just nothing like it. Year one was amazing, and just brought back so many memories to be back in the gym again for the first time in a while.
Yeah, it really did. It was awesome, and the upgrades are really nice. I mean, the building's great and very seamless. Like you can't even tell that it's been retrofitted really. So did a great job with that. I wish we'd gotten to see 30 minutes of Sheridan Bostic, because I think we would have been talking about her and Lydia both coming back and how impressive they were, because she got off to a great start and only got to play 5 minutes, but would have been a totally different story if she's out there. So that's it. You hope they get healthy. It's a long season, and you just get back to the grind on Thursday. I can't wait to get back over there with Rob Benson, who was terrific in his first game doing color with me. He adds a ton of insight from the basketball side, and he's really funny, and so we had a good time. It was awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait either. Just praying that Sherry's okay, making sure Bart's okay, get Mighty Mouse, get Sanaya back, and then just do our thing, man. I think I really do have a really great excitement for this women's team, And then just my final thoughts on the guys. 104, no biggie. Whatever. That's just 100 points again.
And one other final thought: keep shooting it, Ellie. Just keep shooting it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't go
It'll fall. And then you put Audra down there, and I swear she's taller than 6 foot. There's no way that she's just 6 foot.
She's pretty tall.
Yeah,
she looks pretty tall.
She's 6'1". 6'1", lanky.
Brianna's way taller than 6'1".
Oh yeah, she's 6'2", 6'3", easily.
Brianna's 6'3", easy.
I don't know what the 6'1" is. So
broad shoulders. Jeez.
I know.
Ooh,
And
scary.
think of that chemistry that's going to happen when Janiyah gets back on the court. That's
the
high school teammates.
Bill Tompkins.
A little shake and bake.
That's right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of The Rewind. Barring any setbacks, we'll be back again next week for another episode. For Wes Kerr, Justin Jarrett, I'm Brackin Lambert. And as always, keep those fins up. Have a good night, guys.